Hello everybody, Mike from the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike podcast here, and I'm back with another edition of Front Row, these music reaction videos that I do, and I'm back in the wonderful world of Elvis Presley, and I'm going to be looking at the song from 1969, I believe it is, Long Black Limousine. I have never heard this song before in my life, so I have absolutely no idea what to expect, but a number of people have suggested it to me. So here we are, ask and you shall receive. A couple of quick disclaimers before I do so, though. Just a reminder that I do talk over these, I do pause these. That is how I react, so if that is not to your taste, then I do apologise, but it is what it is. And I would also strongly urge you to listen to this song in its entirety if you have not heard it before, and that you do not follow my terrible example, as I will be, as I say, talking over this a fair bit. Also want to remind you to check out the other content on this channel, namely the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike, the audio podcast that shares this feed, where my wife Hannah and I go back and rewatch some of our favourite film and television franchises, in addition to the other assorted film, television, music and general pop culture related goodness that also shares this channel. Feedback very much appreciated, as are likes and subscribes. Subscriptions make a huge difference, as do donations through PayPal that help us support the upkeep of this channel. But as I always say, please only do so if you can without causing yourself any financial hardship. So yeah, enough talk. Let's listen to Long Black Limousine by Elvis. No idea what to expect here, so let's find out together, shall we? Let's go. Ooh. Tolling bell, very funereal.
Our little street, their fancy cars are such a sight to see. Oh yeah, they're all your rich friends who knew you in the city. And now they finally brought you home to me.
Okay, so immediately there's a very floaty, spiritual, as I say, kind of almost funereal solemnity to this. The image of the limousine as well, the long black limousine as well. There's something quite apocalyptic about that. I don't know what this song's about. We're very early on, but I guess the image of the limousine can symbolize a number of things in American culture and in popular culture, popular Western culture. There's the idea of affluence, of success. Cars were central imagery in the legend of Elvis Presley, from what I understand, as much as the actual music. And I've said before, I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen, and he uses cars as metaphors for escape and station in life. The idea of used cars symbolizing a particular social strata versus fancy cars and limousines being representations of success. But here, I suspect, from the music, and as I say, the solemnity of tone and that bell that opens, it reminds me a little bit of the beginning of the Rocky theme. You hear that bell chime. But here it does feel, there's a sadness here, I guess. Let's see where this goes. Oh, it's picking up a bit.
When you left, you told me that someday you'd be returning in a fancy car, all the town to see.
Beautiful vocal, beautiful instrumentation. Great storytelling as well. This idea of somebody going off and saying, hey, when you next see me, I'll be a big success, and this success will be symbolized by the expensive vehicle that I return in. I'm going to go back a little bit here so I don't miss too much of Elvis's vocal performance, which so far is really beautiful.
Fancy car, all the town to see. Oh, yeah.
And we're hearing all of Elvis's range and skill here. It's very restrained, but he goes kind of high and on the edge of his voice, and then he goes back down into that baritone as well, and it's just so smooth, and it all seems so effortless and perfect.
Well, everyone is watching you. You finally had your dream, and you're riding in a long black.
So has this person returned successful, or?
You know the papers told of how you lost your life.
Oh, it's a funeral procession. Okay. Ironic.
The party and the fatal crash that night. Well, the race upon the highway, oh, the curve you didn't see. Well, you're riding in that long black limousine.
Oh, lovely bit of Hammond. I don't know if it's a Hammond organ there, but a bit of organ as well, giving it that church feeling as well. It does feel like sermonizing a little bit here. And it's a clever song as well, isn't it? Because he's using the elasticity of the imagery of the limousine as being, that aspirational thing to shoot for. And then the symbol of success, the returning, and I'll show you, I'll come back. But then also, the idea of it as being a coffin as well, But also, I mean, cars, trains as well. Trains are great images. The idea of the train coming down the track or the limousine, there's something about them as visual metaphors that creates a sense of inevitability. There's a feeling that the train's coming down the track for all of us. And that's scary on the one hand, the inevitability of death, but both our own, but also us experiencing it through other people, through loved ones, etc. But of course, I've said before that one of the great things about Elvis Presley is this feeling of community that he creates between him and his audience, but also between the audience members themselves. And there's the feeling that actually we can take solace in the fact that although it's inevitable, it's an inevitability that's shared by everyone. And this idea of a limousine being almost like a harbinger, it's a visual representation of this thing, this inevitable thing that you can't escape. This kind of, the long black limousine is the Reaper, I guess, in some ways here. That's how it feels in the song. And again, I'm not reading the lyrics, and some of them I'm missing. And this is the first time I've heard this song. But there's the tone of the music is creating that feeling as much as the lyrics are in any kind of literal sense. Oh, beautiful. It's a trumpet.
Through tear-filled eyes, I'll watch
Ooh,
as you ride by. Oh, yeah.
beautiful vocal.
A chauffeur
Whoa.
at the wheel, dressed up so fine.
Okay, I'm going to go back. Elvis is doing something here that I really like. This is the same year as the comeback special, and on If I Can Dream, Elvis does this thing where he does vocal fries, like, on If I Can Dream, out there in the dark, out there in the dark, and you hear him really, I call it driving a Rolls Royce off-road. That's the way I always describe that technique. It's where you take something pure and beautiful and well tuned, like Elvis's voice, and you kind of treat it badly, deliberately for effect. And it's a bit like actors. You've got actors who are performance actors where their skill is in the performative. That they're acting. It's not realistic. So that's people like Laurence Olivier and Daniel Day-Lewis. And then you've got realistic actors, people whose skill is in the invisibility of the performance. And singing can be like that. You've got singers who are pure technique, who are so skilled that you never feel any sense of risk or danger in their singing, because they're always going to hit that note. And then there's other people who really just power through with emotion and don't worry about that much. Elvis is both. Elvis, and that's one of the things that's brilliant about him. And here, he's deploying that. He's deploying that rawness to make it more believable. Because when you see an acting performance that is full of technique and polish and theatricality, it's impressive, but you don't necessarily believe it. But here you believe it. You believe what Elvis is saying because he takes his voice to those places, but he doesn't always take it. I'm going to go back a little bit so we can enjoy that again. This is really good. This recording and piece of music and performance is working on a whole number of levels.
Watch and you ride by, oh yeah. A chauffeur,
There.
a chauffeur at the wheel, dressed up so fine. Well, I'll never love another. Oh, my heart, all my dreams, yeah, with you.
Strings.
That long black limousine. Yeah, with you. In that long black limousine. Yeah, with you. In that long black limousine. Yeah, with you. In that long black limousine.
Yeah, that was great. That's probably one of the strongest recordings, all-round recordings, productions, whatever you want to call it, of Elvis's that I've heard so far. It's just so complete. It's got a really great, clever, powerful, central metaphor that the music captures and explores. You've got this incredible, sincere, technically impressive and emotional, really tricky combination of things to achieve, but is, I think, in some ways, Elvis's superpower, or one of his superpowers, is his ability to be able to knock your socks off with the technical power of the performance, but also temper that with humanity and, you know, a song that is ultimately reflecting on death for somebody as seemingly, then of course, omnipotent as Elvis is really powerful. So that was exceptional stuff. Wow, yeah, tell me what to cover next. Quick reminder that I do appreciate feedback. You can leave comments here on the channel, and also suggestions for what to cover next are very much appreciated. So I'll be back really soon with another one of these front rows, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.